although we're all here today and the next few days for what appears to be a very serious event, there will be time off for a bit of relaxation here and there. Anyway, it is an honor to be able to see so many very, very key and important people from about 20 countries here. We met some of them last night, and we're all here for the purpose of actually not only interacting for business purposes, but also to see where the future can take us together on the path for co-production, co-investment, or the most popular word nowadays, the co-creation part, because this industry is very diversified, and once when we use words like content, you find that everything under the sun can be put under that banner. Anyway, in this increasingly technology-driven business environment, we are actually celebrating for the next few days some of the early initiatives which previously we have not done before. Now, the B2B sessions, this is not new. We have been doing it before, and I see this as a very, very positive way to extend what we've already created in the years before. However, the most important event for us personally is the Character and Creative Licensing Showcase, which is actually the very first time that we are organizing it for the KL Converge. And it is very important because, as we all know, after having building up an industry that centers around content, it only makes sense to see how we could actually exploit the spin-offs. And in fact, there will be spin-offs sometimes that actually sustain that industry to the next level. And apart from the Character and Creative Licensing Showcase, FINAS is also working with the MyDoc for the documentary pitching session. Now, it's worthwhile to mention that some of the initiatives that we're having this year at FINAS includes a very heavy session of pitching. And we're not talking about pitching of the baseball kind. We're talking about pitching of the elevated pitching kind. It is where the government has allocated funds, and we need to know within 5-10 minutes, that's the pitch, whether you have that film, animation, that idea in your head. And so far now, the pitching center is based in KL Central, which has been open since April 2nd of this year. They have received about more than 250 applicants. And the biggest change that we introduced for the new funds is we are focusing on script writers and producers. And that's only because previously, when it was actually open to all, we weren't able at that time to distinguish between the creators and the business side of things. So for example, right now a producer will be applying for the production fund because he's the project manager. And those who actually apply for development are those who actually doing up the story writing or the scripting. It's also very important for our international guests here because co-production is also part and parcel of the menu, which means that over the next few days, what I hope is that we could actually interact with the local producers, many of whom are here. Many of the key producers, top producers are here. And we hope co-productions will arise. And co-productions here is not just confined to feature films, but also for TV programs, animation, and we can even throw in the music. We're also covering music videos, which should be more interesting to the younger generation. So what we hope is that with this form of funding and the focus on what is basically a storytelling environment, I hope that Malaysia will be able to work not only from within, but also with their partners all over Asia, really, although it's for the world in general, but I would like to focus personally on the Asian side, simply because it's a testing ground. It's a good way to start to see where we could actually utilize our common stories and common cultures into one thread. So without further ado, and I think you are all here not so much to listen to about what FINAS will be doing, because if I tell you too much, then I'll be heavily criticized on the blog for not being able to achieve some of them. But generally, this is the new FINAS whose act is being amended now, will no longer use the word film per se, we will be using the word content. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we may have a problem with the word itself. FINAS, to introduce the word content in FINAS, I have absolutely no idea what to call the new FINAS. I mean, it could be CONAS, or anyway, I hope to be inspired over the next few days to be able to find a new name. So, without further ado, I proudly declare the opening of the KL Converge for the Creative Conference at the B2B, and I hope you will have a splendid time over the next few days.